This week we watched season two of The Last of Us, directed by Craig Mazin.
I guess with this episode, I'm even more concerned about Bella Ramsey's casting as Ellie. Considering the way she kind of plays her, like, I don't know, in the game Ellie's still more like a kid in a way. And this she's kind of like, oh, I'm just rebellious, uh, jerk the whole time. It's clear that I know in the game, Joel doesn't tell her how she's was saved. She doesn't find out till like way after. Which this part of the game would probably be like first like couple 10 or so minutes basically. She doesn't find out till after. But it's probably clear in the way the show is going that he's told her already, and that's what caused their parental, I guess, their familiar relationship being splintered the way it is. But one thing I think the game did a very good way of showing was the fact that, of course, Ellie is very much smaller than everybody else. It's not a sex thing. She's a girl. She's smaller than everybody else. She's just like 19 years old, that kind of thing. In the opening clip, we see her kind of go one-on-one with a fully grown up man, and then win handily. And then later on in the episode, we see her lose to a clicker basically same mass as her. The game did a very good thing of showing the combat scenes as far as you playing as her, whereas where they use her size and speed to an advantage. I feel like the transition from doing that to the show was just to add extra action set pieces, which really don't really fit, given that. But I do think the character of Dina I think is much better in the show compared to the game. I think they fleshed her out a little bit more, give her a little bit more life. Um, looking forward to more scenes with Abby. The 3 minutes we got of her actress, I thought was really well portrayed. But yeah, the biggest weakness for me is just Bella Ramsey and her portrayal of Ellie. Really, I think the show is really going heavy-handed to make you not like Ellie this season or this first couple episodes most likely, and you root more for Abby to get her revenge. So,
I was stressed out while I was watching this, but also like very excited. One, because I love Caitlin Deaver and Caitlin
hmm
Deaver plays Abby.
Abby,
And
yeah,
I knew I know that Abby was going to be a huge character in this because of what happened at the end of last season. So I'm already on her side. Like I don't care what she's gonna do because I do feel like I'm just like, well, I love Caitlin Deaver, so obviously I'm gonna be on her side no matter what. But I do think they did a great job at like establishing like why she feels this way and like what her connection is to Joel and the whole situation. And I do feel like, however you look at it, she is kind of justified because like he did just kill her dad for like no reason. Like I mean, he had a reason, but like he didn't need to go that far. And I think that Joel is a really interesting case study and just like how his violence always ends up like kind of catching up with him.
yeah.
And I think that's what they're exploring in this season. So I'm actually really excited for that. I'm like excited for Pedro Pascal's performance in this because last season he was just amazing. I think everyone last season was really great.
Mm.
But his storyline in particular, like the consequences of what he's chosen to do and how far he's chosen to go to protect Ellie, I think that's going to be explored a lot in this. So I'm really excited to see him. I do know what happens, even though I don't play the game. I do know what happens, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. And the actual like sh game to show, like I said, I didn't play the games, but I watch a lot of people talk about this show who have played the games. And it's incredible like how many scenes were taken like directly from the games and
Mm.
redone for the show. And also like they're taking actors who did the voice acting in the games and they're putting them in the show. It's like really I think I haven't seen like a an adaptation where it feels like very faithful, where it's
Mm.
like the intention of like actually pulling scenes directly from the game and pulling actors from the game and like putting them in there is like a very deliberate decision.
Mm.
And I think that that is really cool because you can tell the people who made this show really care about the game and they're very much involved, which is cool to me because I didn't play the game, so I don't know like what she's supposed to be like. But from just like as a viewer of the show, I think she's done a really good job. And I think that like the reason why she's acting this way is because she knows what Joel did.
Yeah.
Now, they haven't explicitly said that because I think they're saving that episode, like the confrontation where like they have a conversation about it for at least next episode or maybe one of the episodes down the line this season.
Mm,
But at a certain point, we are going to get the conversation of like her confronting Joel of being like, I know what you did. So I think that's why she's mad. And honestly, I get it. I
mm,
get it because it's like, from her point of view, it's very much like, well, I can actually help stop all this stuff, but you didn't want to go through with the procedure because you lost your daughter. So it's more of a you thing than it is a me thing. Even though I do think he cares about her a lot, I do think that like the trauma from losing his daughter kind of overshadowed his perspective of like what needed to happen. Like, I don't know. And it wasn't a guarantee that like her blood would cure everyone, but like it was a possibility because she is immune. And I think that's what they were trying to show in this episode as well, is like because she gets bitten again by the stalker, that she very much is immune. So like she could possibly be the key to like, I don't know, changing some stuff around, shifting it a little bit. But I think Joel, and especially in that scene with Catherine O'Hara, who I'm so excited to see in this show, I love
mm,
her. Um, where he had killed her husband because I think he had been bitten.
mhm.
It just goes to show like your actions have consequences. So like it makes sense that like even in that therapy session where she was like, I'm still mad at you for what you did, even though I understand why you did it, is very reflective of probably how Ellie feels. Of where like I understand why you would do that because I would die in order for whatever process to get my blood to make a cure, whatever what happened, but like I'm so pissed at you for doing it. So like I do get it. It's not like just teenage angst. That's
Mm.
not what I was getting from that. I was getting like, oh, okay, like she knows what's up and she's upset about it. But also he did save her life. So can she be really mad? It's like a very conflicted um thing that she's going through. So I totally understand that. And I think once they have the conversation, things will probably take a different direction because if you watch the trailer, there are scenes with them together where it's much more pleasant. So
Yeah.
I think that it's just like right now, it has to be a little frosty and a little tense because we're building to that confrontation scene. I like Bella Ramsey and I think that she's good in the role. I don't know what she's gonna do with it this season, but like last season, she was incredible. Like I think I think like being a fierce person is obviously like a mask that she wears. Sorry, I think Bella is non-binary, so I'm gonna say that. Excuse me for I'm misgendering, but I think that what Bella did with the role last season was really interesting, and the fact that they are small, they are young, what kind of like physical presence that appears to other people and how that people can underestimate that and how they have been put into danger because of their physical stature and appearance multiple times. It's probably going to happen again this season as well.
Mm.
Um, but showing that they are still like they're still learning how to survive in this world. And I think the first scene where she's like they're like fighting the grown man. Like he was obviously not fighting her. Like he was
Yeah.
pulling punches. Yeah, she would have win. The character would win.
Like somebody had asked about, because Joel being the way he is, him being a survivor, and his connections with people, if you're not really bonding with them, I don't really care for you. To me stems back from most likely stuff he had with his wife. And the backstory with that was apparently with after Sarah, his daughter was born, um she left. Like she just left. They don't really explain how she left. And she like and basically described it as she wasn't someone not someone he looked up to keep it a picture around. So that clearly that like dead mother trope, dead girlfriend trope, dead wife trope kind of still lingers with Joel. Even though we never saw it in the game, we kind of do see it now as his attachment of, oh, if you're connected to me, I care about you, due to the abandonment and I guess dissolution of relationship with his wife in a way,
Mhm.
which I hope. and hope. It wasn't, explored in the game, potentially is explored in particularly this season of the show. So,
That would be cool. Yeah, I would love to see that. I am very anxious about the rest of the season just because I feel like last season was pretty dark, and
mhm.
I just feel like we're gonna get even darker this season, which I can't even imagine possible because like last season was really dark. So I'm like, oh God, what are they gonna do? Because now we have two really big situations happening at the same time. We have Abby and her crew showing up to Jackson. They're about to set it off over there. And then we also have the infected who are on their way because I guess what it was like the roots were in the pipe. So
Mhm.
like, but someone left a little fire thing on New Year's Eve that kind of awakened the roots, and now the infected are on their way over to this place that is like very protected. Like gave a group of people an ability to just be people in the midst of
Mhm.
all of this insanity. So like I'm upset because now the compound, what's gonna happen to that? Like it's just gonna be absolute chaos. So we're gonna have to deal with that. And it's just like there's too much going on already, and I'm already nervous, but I'm also like absolutely seated. Like I can't wait to see what happens.
I think this season probably the best episode is going to be the one we spend with Caitlin Dever as Abby. I see it coming
Mm,
forward. Um, yeah, like the last season was more about survival and and connections, like connections that are what make you human in a way, like survival and humanity. This one is probably about more so revenge and anything
mm,
else. So yeah, two like plenty usually diametrically opposed view. Like humanity is always going to be at the back of the show, dealing with subject matter and conflict like this, like human survival, post-apocalyptic kind of thing. Humanity is always going to be like the main through line, but there are different aspects of humanity that shine through. Revenge being one of them, and hope being one of them, and survival being one of them. So good to see. Good, can't wait to see where it goes from here.
Did you like that clip? Well, you can listen to the entire podcast because the 16mm Film Crew podcast is available on all major podcast platforms.